All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday daytime stream. Yay! Man, we were starting the daytime stream at like 3:30 p.m. Not even that long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and that was really good. Now we are starting it at 5 p.m. again, so I'm all over the place with the starting times for the daytime stream. Problem is, it's just really, really difficult to get up early enough to start the daytime stream early, but also to stay up late and try to get all the work done. So there's like this real struggle back and forth between staying up later and waking up sooner. And so that's it. That's why we struggle to get that time just right. But we'll figure it out. What matters is we're live right now. So we got our live stream going. Let's see. Tuesday daytime stream. Looks like Alex already posted. Let's go ahead and post over here. All right, my nose is a little bit runny. What is this? No. Delete this. There we are. Delete. Forget the day crew. Focus on the night crew. Yeah, night crew's what? Wait, what? Can't be saying that in the daytime stream. All right, so here's our Pokemon card live shop. And let's grab our... Oh, wow, man. My computer resets, so everything's not where it's supposed to be. That's so annoying when that happens. It resets everything. Must have done an update. Grab this, because I can tell the power didn't go out. So this is going to say Lord of the Ring Chrome, Vintage Rocket, Manga Dragon Ball, Rocket Korean. What else is interesting? Gem 2 live card shop. No. Let's say coin break. All right. Live. We're going to hit save. Lots of things going on here. As always, I mean, I don't know if there's ever a time when lots is not going on. What did we do last night that was really crazy? Did we get anything really cool? Yeah, Mr. Brett went deep. That's what happened. So you know, one of my favorite things about what we do every day on this live stream is we help people with their collections every day. And so last night, we printed out a super high-end shipping label for our friend, Mr. Zen Collectibles. And he finished buying, with the red label slab away, he finished buying a Team Up Gengar Mimikyu Alt-Art. Whew. And he got it for like 2.9, and now it's selling for like 4.7. So it was a 2.9 red label slab away, and it wound up in price so much that the red label really did not matter. So it was it's perfect outcome. And so we're shipping that out, and it's a little scary to ship out a big, expensive item like that overseas. We're hoping it doesn't get stopped by customs, and customs gets all angry. But I learned something new. I learned that the declarations limit is 2.5 thousand before they request a special government document. That document forces you to explain to the government how much money you're shipping, or, you know, how much product you're shipping out of the country. It's not a bad thing to do that, to ship a lot out of the country. The government just wants to know about it because the government's tracking that stuff to get some data, you know. So I don't want to have to fill out that form, though it seems the smart thing would be to learn how to fill out that form. So we're going to figure that out one day, but not today. Especially because, you know, I got a lot to ship to Mr. LaFlame. I'm thinking in particular, LaFlame's got... Oh, what's this? LaFlame's got these... He's got that signature Charizard to ship, man. That's a big card. The signature Charizard. A Rita signature Legendary Collection Charizard. Which was worth a couple thousand already when we did a break on it. Now it's probably worth like 4,000. I was here first, TCC. Don't let anyone say different. Oh, who was here first? No, I was Mike's side. You're lying. Hey, man, I rewatched the night stream, and I heard you mention you had a couple packages come back to you. Was one Jack Woodworth? I believe it was. Yes, I believe it was Jack Woodworth. Any reason why that would happen? It was you and like a mix something. I think it was McCansh or something like that. I can't remember the name of the second person, but I believe... you know what? Let me just go look. Problem solved. I'll just go look. it wasn't you. You got me all confused in the head, man. That wasn't you. All right. How did I... see, that's why I needed to go look. Because when you say a name, my brain attaches a false memory to it. No, it wasn't you. You're all good. You're all good. It was not you. Philip Webb and somebody named Chevy McCauley. I knew it was a mixed something. So those are the two people. Philip Webb, Chevy McCauley. I don't want to ship them back out until they acknowledge, you know, the packages came in and think about what happened. Because USPS doesn't really explain what happened. They just sent it back. They're in good condition. The boxes are fine. They're not tampered with. They're not squished or anything. So, I don't know. All right, so this is Lord of the Rings, the last box I'll probably sell because I can't get a hold of any more of it, except at really unreasonable prices. Okay. Let's grab this. Right? Wait, he said, I missed it. Right in time for 4:20. What? Hey, what's up, Mr. LaFlame? All right. Let me close these. Let me close this. Let me close these. Closing a bunch of stuff. Close, close, close. Good. Now, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings Chrome. What am I listening to? Elden Ring Night Rain. Oh yeah, that's a fun game. Okay, so I have a... And how many packs in one of these boxes? 36 packs. That's good. That's good for you guys. All right, you ready for this? What was our previous price on these? You remember? Was it like 30? Looks like this won't be my last time selling this. Looks like we had them at $35. We're actually going to keep that price. So Lord of the Rings Topps Chrome back on the menu, restocked, fresh box. Which means the hot stuff in the box is in the box right now. So if you want the hot stuff, jump in here. Go looking for it. If it's basic PSA, it's like 4 months. If it's more pricey, usually within a month. Good afternoon, Mr. Time for some Pokemons. Yes. Yes. I love how they give you an example of the Chrome. That's cool. So here they are, everybody. Somewhere in these booster packs are signature cards, multiple hit cards. So signatures or, what do they call them? Like relic cards? Memorabilia cards. Memorabilia. There they are. These are from 2004. That's kind of like Neo, Pokemon Neo. All right. We also have these Topps. No, not Topps. We also have these Action Flip Lord of the Ring cards now because we ran into those, right? I didn't even know I had them. Cool. There we go. Topps Chrome has been a staple seller for a long time now. It sells very well. Been selling well for like ever since I added it to the menu. People love that set. Very beautiful cards. You can grade the Topps Chrome cards 10, and they sell. They actually sell. When they grade 10, they go. How long does a PSA submission come back to you? Yeah, so PSA has been really rough. I would bet on PSA taking no less than 2 months, but it can take longer than 2 months. It can take like 3 months. And I don't think it would be a lot longer than 3 months, though. So 2 to 3 months, somewhere in that range. Now, I'm getting my tag grading submission back, and it's almost 3 months old. And that one's got no one else's cards in it, just mine. So tag took almost 3 months. I think it's just the issue with all grading companies. They're all taking a long time, unless you want to pay a super high premium for like the faster grading. Let me give you advice, guys. Never do that. Never pay for the faster grading. There's just no point. Unless you have to flip your card right now, there's no point to doing the faster grading. So what that means is when a new set comes out and the cards start coming back PSA 10, those were the guys who paid for the super fast grading, and they're going to bake that cost into the slab. Just another reason not to buy the slabs early either. So the ones that are just coming back from PSA, great example, Gem 2. Those Gem 2 packs are really not that expensive. Gem 2 packs are affordable, and the ARs pull easily. Well, they want like $1,500 for Umbreon. That's because they rushed it to the market to be first, and then there's no competition yet, and then they get that big flip because they were first. But first, they paid a big premium on the grading to get it back very fast before anyone else. So that can pay off if you're very good at it. That's not my strategy or style. I have a real slow, kind of like scraping through the market kind of style. We take our time, we use the slow grading. I have a belief that cards actually go up in value over the years. So for me, I can even take, like a box of singles, tape them up, put them up on a shelf and be like, I'll see you guys in 2 years. Like that. Makes no difference to me. I sent an order last night. Hey, what can I help you with, them? Are you suggesting that perhaps we need to open something for you that was not opened? Back to Metazoo Nightfall, 10 packs, 12 hours ago. Oh, it's right here. All right, let's do it. Hell yeah, dude. Metazoo Nightfall. You can open a lot of Metazoo Nightfall with not a lot of money because it definitely it's a cheaper set. Mr. mentioned me as a cautionary tale for grading. Well, Brandon, you're in a special situation. Brandon often did not want to wait for his cards to come back, and so he would try to sell them to me before they were finished grading. You really could do that. It's kind of similar to selling your cards raw. You could sell your cards raw, but usually, if you're patient, you would want to know if you got a 10, so that's useful to know if you got a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You don't always get a 10, though. So, Brandon, some of the cards you sold me were probably 9s. And if they were 9s, that means you probably got a pretty fair deal on them. It's just the ones that got 10s you did not. And so that's what happens when you sell them early. You offload some 9s, but you might offload some 10s too. So I usually recommend to people to wait until the card's done grading and then try to sell it off. I mean, you made it that far where the card's already in queue for grading. Might as well see how it ends. All right, let me get more Metazoo. I would have liked to have seen that new Metazoo set sell this much at them. You think these old, could you even call them vintage? You think these old Metazoo sets are more fun to open than the new ones? I feel like they have a really distinctive feeling. The new ones feel more corporate. I bought the Sleeping Umbreon PSA 10 for $1,100. Did I overpay? You certainly did not. Did you buy that one for me? I used to have 5 of them. I sold 3 of the 5. Big mistake. Should have kept all of them. But I sold 3 of the 5 at pretty reasonable prices back then. Just because, I was trying to offer something cool to my audience to buy. And I was like, I got 5 of those. Should have held all 5. What a fool. Those cards are so expensive now. Couldn't buy them back. So a couple guys got those cards for me. Also a mistake anytime I sold Legendary Collection. Also a mistake. But I still have 2 of the Umbreons, so it's not all a loss. Glad I held some of them. Yeah, some of my biggest mistakes in the hobby have been selling. I've told that tale before, like when I sold my Dark Charizard PSA 10 for $1,000, and I thought I did really well. But all I had to do was hold it, because today that card's like 6.7 or whatever it is, 7,000. It's up times 7 since 2019. I mean, again, up times 7. Isn't that better than crypto? Isn't that better than the stock market? I think it is. It's definitely better than real estate. It's definitely better than gold. I don't think the stock market did times 7, right? The S&P 500. I don't think it did times 7. Some crypto might have done times 7. I'm not good enough at crypto to pick them out that way, though. That's the thing. I would have just gotten Bitcoin. And I watched Bitcoins kind of zigzag around, whatever it is, like 2,500 to 110 or whatever it is today. Now, that's pretty good. If you bought in at 25 and it's at 110 right now, what is it at? I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a little while. I haven't looked at the stock market in a little while. How am I doing in the stock market? So Bitcoin is at 109,000. That's still not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So Bitcoin's done well. Anyone who just bought a lot of Bitcoin or probably Ethereum because they follow each other kind of closely, anyone who did that and just sat on it, you probably got like ×4 your money, maybe ×5. Assuming it assumes when you bought in, because if you bought in while it was high, you didn't do as well. But Pokemon's so crazy that you've got a lot of these old WOTC era cards tripling in price just this year. Just in the last year, tripling. So it's a crazy, crazy, crazy time for Pokemon. All right, let's see. Mystery was only 10 packs. Oh, that's so weird. It doesn't say 12. All right, let's see. Let's take these two. Now, let's place this over here. Oops. There we go. Good. Let's see. If it's the Chinese sleeping Umbreon, then yeah, you did overpay. Oh. There's another sleeping Umbreon. It's called the Versus Umbreon. I didn't know he was talking about the Gem Umbreon. That's so easy to remember, the name Gem. So I figured, if you said sleeping Umbreon, I figured he was referring to Karen's Umbreon, which is in Japanese. Let's see. If I place an order for DBZ Manga, can I pick and choose some select commons? I know it's not a no bulk channel. You get to keep all the hollows from those packs, Christian S. So when you open DBZ Manga, you keep the whole pack. It's a very unique set. We do not count holographic cards as bulk unless you tell me to. So obviously I prefer to keep the holographic common and commons because they're quite literally just, it's obvious that they're bulk. But no, you get to keep those by default. And if you ever don't want them, just let me know, because I'd like to remove them to make your bag thinner. Here it is. But yeah, you get to keep those. Here's Guardian Angel. You get to keep the whole thing. Chansey coin go off? The Chansey coin, it was so close to going off. Let me tell you what happened last night. So it was up to 4 out of 5 people. And then one of the guys in the break withdrew his spot, and he just bought one of my Chansey coins. So he just used the money to buy one outright. He said, wait a second, you've got one of those for sale. I'll just go buy it. So it fell back down to 3 out of 5, and then another guy joined it, and it went back up to 4 out of 5. Here's Gargoyle. You can't hardly see it, though. So right now, the Chansey coin is 4 out of 5, everybody. Very close. One person's picking up a beautiful vintage Japanese base set Chansey. Here's Momo. Ooh, so nice. Set that there. Thank you. Placing an order now. Yes. Ah, there we go. Your patience is paid off. So there's that Grim Reaper that you would want to open up the Nightfall for. Take a look at that, guys. Why is it holding a baby? That's weird as hell, dude. All right. The Grim Reaper and either an alive baby or a dead baby. Here's Mothman. Oh, yes. Still needing a holographic Mothman. That is the reverse holo. Here's this guy with the lightning. And Born from the Earth. So here are my thoughts on that Mothman. We're going through like a whole case right now. You know, these are coming out of a sealed case. And we've opened quite a few boxes of it. Just you and me, Mr. Thim. And we have not pulled the regular holo Mothman or the regular holo Wendigo. We did just get the Grim Reaper, though. So, yeah, curiously enough, that Mothman should be an expensive card. The standard holo Mothman should be expensive. That's the life and death card. Oh, I see. You don't think of death holding a baby, so it's a bit of an odd illustration. Are they still making Metazoo? Yes, Metazoo's still going. It is, so the Metazoo brand was picked up by the ex-vice president of the Pokemon card company. Him and another guy bought the actual Metazoo brand, and now they print Metazoo cards. So they got a fresh, new batch of Metazoo. It's kind of like a restart for the Metazoo franchise. Now, these are the old Metazoo cards. This is a gym break. You can buy half the pack for $22, and the other guy buys half the pack, and then one of you guys gets the booster pack. So this is a Metazoo break for the Kickstarter. So we got the very best booster pack right here. The Kickstarter pack is the very best booster. And if you can pull Mothman out of here, we'll give you a role in Discord called Mothman. So that's that. It's the Squid Game baby. Who's the Squid Game? Oh, the Squid Game baby. I see what you're saying. I got you. Okay. Hey, that's spoilers. Rigoberto Gil, one spot in the Team Rocket Vintage Break. You got it, Rigoberto Gil. I'll move my phone over here. Invest in Metazoo, Mothman to the Moon. Well, it's fun to think that the prices on Metazoo really collapsed. The Kickstarter Mothman, for example, he fell down from like $15,000 to like $800. So, but the franchise is not literally dead. It's under new management, and now you can actually go enjoy it at like a reasonable price. Because I always felt that the old prices were completely unreasonable for what it was. It was not a card set with 10-year nostalgia yet. It was a hype thing, you know. It was a YouTuber hype thing, and you had these influencers throwing their weight behind it, but it was just started, and it was being run by one guy who was not have a whole lifetime of experience of being CEO of anything, and then it collapsed. Actually, you know, when the guy brought out the Metazoo Hello Kitty thing, I thought that was actually really clever. I was like, whoa, he got the Hello Kitty brand. That's these over here, look. I thought this was very clever. Metazoo Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival, because there was no one else doing Hello Kitty cards. So he got the Sanrio license in just 2 years ago, 2023. And these weren't too expensive. But I guess that's probably what killed the company. I guess they couldn't afford the licensing, so they did not manage their finances correctly. Maybe they thought that this brand, Sanrio, would bring in the big bucks and pay for the licensing, and then it did not. So I don't know. Hold on, what is this music? Oh, this is Plants vs. Zombies, really? Yeah, I have a first edition, not Kickstarter box, unopened, and it was worth so much, and then it tanked. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, so I bought after the collapse when there were whispers of another guy wanting to buy the company. And I said, oh, that's fascinating. So I ran in and I grabbed a couple boxes of the Kickstarter. And so now when I sell these at just $44, there's actually a bit of profit. It's very easy. So it's a nice older pack. Was it 2022 or... Oh, this is from 2020. It's actually 5 years old now. So it's getting older now. The prices are right, very low prices. And the community, there are probably some hardcore members in the community. So it's a cool little thing now, and I pay attention to it. I give it attention. There you go. But yeah, I thought that his move with the Hello Kitties was clever. But clearly they couldn't do that and manage their finances. And that's a skill. Being able to do those things is a skill. Being able to raise, money is a big skill when it comes to running a business. You're going to have to find ways to pull out loans and get investors and such. And he just didn't pull that off. All right, so here's Christian S. 10 packs for DBZ Manga. Keep all the cards. All right. There. Hope you're doing well. Oops. Hope you're doing well. I sent him 2 CASHAPP orders. Can do them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 here. Here it is. Haha. I thought about opening a whole box of this live. Not live, I'm sorry. A whole box of these in a short. One whole box, a Dragon Ball. But I don't have very much product left, so I said maybe wait till we get it restocked. How much Rocket? Rocket is $34 a spot, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we got too many. There you go. So there you go. Christian S. How are you today, Mr. Christian S? We're supposed to be pricing up some Topps cards. We've got really high-end Topps 10 slabs, and we will be pricing those and giving people a chance to obtain some truly rare Topps cards that are just not obtainable. Like sometimes they're not even on the internet at all. I've got it. No one else has it. And they are not free. But if you buy it and you hold on to it, you're not going to run into an increase in the population on them. I promise you. Here it is. Okay, card number 2. All right, card number 3. I'm well, sir. Hope you are too. Mr. Actually sent in 3 orders on CASHAPP. Can you let me know if they're all there? Yes. Michael, you do that a lot. You gotta start. Let's see, you've got 10 Korean Fusion art packs, 1 Rocket Pack, and 5 Lost Abyss Korean. I think the reason you do that, though, is because Cash App does not allow you to write a big message. Isn't that right? Is that what's going on? So you like a variety of things opened when you hang out. It's just that Cash App doesn't let you write a long message. So you split it up. I bet that's what the behavior is. It is. I don't think that Cash App has a minimum order fee. You know, PayPal does. PayPal sucks sometimes. They will charge me 50 cents per order no matter what the size of the order. So you send me 3 little orders, and that's that's $1.50 already in PayPal fees. They're so vicious. CASHAPP is so annoying. Yeah, I don't know why they don't allow the larger message. They just don't want you to be able to communicate. Here it is. But there's probably real reasons for that in the software, because when the... Ooh, look at that. Because when the message is larger, that's all data. That's data. Okay, that's cool. What is this? This has a texturing to it. A lot of Metazoo backers thought it would overtake Pokemon. They couldn't have seriously thought that. There's no way they could have seriously thought it would overtake Pokemon. But they probably had very high hopes. They thought it would become its own thing, like maybe like Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball, all these other, maybe Final Fantasy. So maybe they thought it would become its own thing. And, I mean, over time, it still has the ability to have a committed audience and a committed group who enjoy it. It's got 5 years to go to become 10 years old. And so we'll see how well it's doing at the 10-year-old mark. But, you know, you got these other guys running the show now, and they might, you know, they might be all in. I think they probably are. Because they put millions of dollars toward it. So we'll find out about them. You could probably say that those owners are the true Metazoo fans. They said, yeah, we'll risk a couple $1 million on this. Why not? So, but they've got to flex some muscle now as leaders and designers and developers and financiers, which is exactly what the other guy couldn't do. He was no good at the financing. I think I could have done the financing. I feel like I'm good with financing. I understand the financing concept so well. It's always about people who are wanting their money back. They want to make a loan. They want their money back. And they're looking for the fastest growing thing. And you got to come in and say, yeah, it's Metazoo. Even if it's not, I suppose. But, you know, if you've got the numbers, you can definitely cast a very good sounding story. Maybe if Mike, or is that his name, Mike? Maybe if he had simply managed to get more funding during the Hello Kitty time period, Metazoo never would have passed out of his hands, and everything would have just kept running smoothly. I mean, look at what he finished. He got a tops version of Metazoo done. That's pretty impressive. It is. You know, I never liked Metazoo that much, but it's an impressive thing. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna pretend it's not. And then again, the Hello Kitty thing, licensing. That's like what Weiss Schwartz does. That's like what Magic is doing right now. So maybe what he should have done is he should have had some serialized Hello Kitty cards in there, but he didn't do that. I don't know why. Maybe he had a plan to do it later. Okay, but those people go nuts for serialized. Now, we have an order from Miss Tammy. Use credit, open 2 gem boxes. Okay, so Tammy really wants the gem 2 boxes. Let's go grab this. The PokeTubers are fighting again. The PokeTubers. What are you talking about? So here's this. And team is doing a little trade with me here. So this, okay. Here we are. Wait, this is, oh, that's your heavy pack. Oops. Oops. There we go. Lol, new Rattle video. Rattle's content is good because he actually just does news all day. That's a good content for him. I was telling Mike's side that. I was saying, people really do subscribe for the news. Because they go, what's next? What happens next? And they go, I got to know what happens next. All right. So because these are known to be light, all I got to do is write light. And so that way I don't accidentally sell these to you guys. Maybe we will test these out on grading. I'll spell light wrong to be funny. So we're doing a little bit of pack grading with PSA, and if they're nice to our booster packs that are getting graded, then maybe I'll consider sending these out to grade. That's what I was recommending for you guys to do with them. If they don't grade well, maybe we will sell them as light packs. Maybe we'll open them up, because you can still pull non-hollow Dragonite out of here. You can still pull non-hollow Snorlax out of there. Plus the commons are cool. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Those are always going to be somewhat useful to someone. Someone will always enjoy something like this. So thank you, Tammy, for that. Now, we had a price agreement on that. Let's see real fast. Tammy got a lot of money for those. When a vintage box is over, I often offer to buy back the light packs. Are jungle packs still not done, mister? Jungle packs. I'm not sure what you meant by that question. So it's 531 plus 106. 637. $637.5. There we go. And then we want to say, so the gem boxes, what are those? Those are like 75 or something, right? The flame, it was open yesterday. Did we have a jungle pack yesterday? Okay, so gem is at the very top of the menu, isn't it? You know, we need to find out more about those gem boxes because they're selling very fast. 487. Okay, 47.5. Wow, didn't see that new Rattle video. People get into a brawl over line. Oh, yeah. There it goes. $487 remain. And, yeah, let me take a quick look into gem stuff because gem might be a top set right now. I might want to purchase a whole nother case of it right now, in fact. I don't know. I mean, I have a decent number of cases, but my intention was to probably... Here, let's do this. That one says awaiting shipment. Let's see. How about this one? Oh, out of stock. All right. That sucks. Oh, there's been a price change on Gem 2. All right. So we cannot sell any more Gem 2 yet. I should have looked at that before. Oh, okay, hold on. Wait a second. It's not so bad, is it? Now I'm confused. There's clearly a big change coming in on the price of Gem 2, everyone. A Scooby-Bun, Scooby, Scooby-Doo. All right, Gem 2 not available for a second. No. Yeah, Gem 2. Well, we knew this was probably going to happen, right? All right, let's see about this. Are you ready? There's how many boxes in a case? Yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to go in here. Gem 2 box will go up by... And there's 15 per pack, right? Okay. So the Gem 2 packs will be $6 a pack now. We're just worried about our restocking issue. They're very tricky because they come over from China, or you way overpay for them already in the USA. There's just two options. And one of the problems with that is that you don't know if the person in China is really shipping a product that they actually have, because they are doing a thing, and I've ran into it more than once now. They're doing a thing where they're selling the product and they don't actually have it. And then they say, oh, but wait, please, we'll get it soon. But they don't actually have the allocation. So they're selling it before they even have the allocation. And then you're out hundreds of dollars because you have to dispute that until they they get a very long time in a dispute not to give that money back, like over 2 months. All right, so and I've got that problem going on right now. I got a guy I was trying to restock Gem 2 on. He was lying about actually having it. And so now I'm waiting 2 months to get about $1,400 back from that. So that is a very serious issue. So Gem 2, it is changing by $1. It will go from $5 to $6. And that doesn't seem like much, but that all stacks up because now the box is going to be $90. Why are we doing that price? I don't really want to sell them that much. So I do not want to sell these because they are so hard to restock. I asked my guy who's actually in China if he can stock them for me, and he says he cannot get any allocation. It's all sold out. So that means it's all in the second market right now. And, well, no, actually, he explains it too. He says the problem is in China, the distributor can act as a scalper. He says there's no rules that the distributor has to follow. And he says the problem is the distributor themselves are speculating on the market, and they're acting as scalpers themselves. So he cannot get them at any kind of distribution price. He can only get them at a really ridiculous price. That makes no sense. So that is how it is. So Gem 2 is a $6 pack in a $90 box now. And again, that's because I don't want to sell them. So that is the price on them right now. All right. So we've done that. Like drop shipping, you're the credit card. I'm the credit card. That's right. They're drop shipping it. They're saying, all right, send some money for this and then we'll get some. And they can't because the distributors do not actually have any that they want to sell. So there's a guy who I talked to very confidently, and he tells me he cannot get a hold of any except at really, really high prices. And prices that are so high that it doesn't really make any sense for either of us to acquire it. So, yes, Gem 2 is blown up a little bit. Okay, Tammy. So you'll end up getting the last two reasonably priced boxes. Oops. What is this? Is that my Team Rocket? That's Team Rocket. Get that out of my way. Pokemon Market Complete Chaos. Well, you know, if it doesn't sell for a long time, prices fall. So it really comes down to what people want to pay for products. And the products are limited. That's the nature of a collectible. They're all limited. So you have to decide if you want to overspend on a product that seems like it's overpriced, or if you want to wait around and find out that someone else just went ahead and bought it instead of you. And that's a prediction. That's a gamble. The gamble is if you stop buying, the prices will fall. If that doesn't play out, you're going to be really sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, there's 15 per box. Okay. We should go get some Gem 1, by the way. We should get some Gem 1. I sold out of those. That was an experiment, the Gem 1. I didn't know if that was going to be any good. Did you look into the Godzilla card game? Came out on July 5th. Oh, I did not. Godzilla. Godzilla is not exactly a huge franchise right now. There we go. Let's see. Maybe I should look into it. Some people like Godzilla. I like Tyranitar. He's Pokemon Godzilla. All right. Well, guys, it's already been 40 minutes. How's it already been 40 minutes? Gem 1 was a hit, hyped up this EV sequel. Yes. All right. I'd be careful, guys, because we saw a big price hike on Sword and Shield, and then it all came crashing down at some point. It was like the market ran out of fumes or something. They ran out of energy. They ran out of the desire to spend all their money on it. And for a while, you could get all the Sword and Shield cards for real cheap. And then, of course, it built back up in January of 2025. But that was like 2 years later almost. So, you know, somebody asked me yesterday, oh, when do you think the end of this bull market is going to be? I don't really know. But things tend to not be able to go up forever. So this cannot go up in price forever. Just can't. It won't. Okay. Okay, so 4 packs is a bit too much. We'll do 3 packs. That's not good to hear with my order. I bought a single razor blade. I'm shaving like a real man now. Really? Did you find out what was up with Mint Mobile? I was able to log in, and it looked like they had charged... Oh, there you go. Miss Tamaname picking up Stevion. Yeah, these ARs pull quite often, but it's a very cute card, and I think it will keep driving people crazy to go obtain it. There you go, Miss Tammy. Look at that. Triple, damn it. The black numbers, I assume, are the numbers of people that have bought into the spot so far. That's right, Mr. Joseph. That's exactly what it is. Okay. All right. So I think we can go a little faster on these packs now because, Tammy, I don't think you're going to pull a second AR out of the box. I've never seen that. So there's that. There's that. Oh, okay. We'll put this. I like putting the stamps in the front. Things are going absolutely nuclear with the 30th anniversary next year. I really do think people will realize that maybe now's not the time to be buying Pokemon. You know, maybe slow down, maybe look into different hobbies, maybe just take a break, come back in a year. And some people won't. People like me, we'll just keep going the whole time. But, you know, sometimes it's better to focus on your career, focus on saving up cash, right? Like, instead of buying something as soon as you have cash, sometimes it's better to hold and build a position of cash. But whatever the case is, it's hard to predict what happens next all the time, right? And you're right. The 30th anniversary is coming around and everything could just get worse. This could actually still be a low point in the hobby and you just wouldn't know it. You'd think, no, this is a high point. But by the time the 30th anniversary comes around, everyone could look back and be like, holy, dude, why didn't I buy back then? Like, you think Gem 2 is expensive now, give it a year or two and see what happens, right? Maybe it becomes this unbelievably expensive thing. Here we have it. But you never know. I mean, Gem 2 just came out. They could say, hey, print some more of these things. Because these are popular. We're selling them to the Americans. Here it is. So it's just really hard to predict, guys. I'd be careful. And buy stuff on a strict budget. Don't go beyond that budget. It's okay to save money up and to just watch the market. It's okay to do that. Here's Glaceon. Vaporeon. I just buy all the time, so it's easy for me. It's easy for me. I get to do that. But I'm also kind of a card shop, so my stuff is more liquid than your stuff. I don't have to post on eBay. I sell it right here on the table and avoid that 13% eBay fee. That eBay fee is evil, dude. eBay is a scalper. They're basically a scalper. I mean, 13% of every sale. What did you do, eBay? You just hosted a website where I did my own work listing it. You know what I mean? I own the item, not you. I own the item. eBay does not. eBay's like a credit card. They're just hosting a financial transaction, and they host like a picture of what you're selling. How crazy is that? And they want 13% for that. So they're getting rich. eBay's getting filthy wealthy from that seller fee. And it's just too high. I mean, on top of that, you pay taxes to the government, too. It's like, Jesus, dude. That's why we need to be able to talk to each other in communities like this. We need to be able to learn how to do commission sales with guys who have decent commission fees. Like, I don't know what Probstein's commission fee is, but it might not be that bad. Gotta learn how to use all seller platforms. I feel like that if you're a collector and you're looking for something to do with your free time, learn how to sell. Learn how to use all the platforms, learn all their fees, learn the optimal way to sell. I think the optimal way to sell is to have like an Instagram account where you post all your things for sale and somebody notices one of your things and says, hey, I'll buy that direct. That's good. That's a very good way to sell. All right, Tammy, you get all these hollows. Beautiful. Second box, no AR. Well, they don't come out every box, Tammy. They come out, what do you guys think? Every 3 to 4 boxes, it feels. You get one every 3 to 4 boxes. You did very good. You got the old price, and you got a nice Sylveon. Me. Ooh, we're out of these little baggies. You did very well. There you go. Those filthy pigs. How dare eBay make money off the hard work? Look, eBay should take a cut, but maybe it should be more like 8%. That's how I feel about it. 13 is almost double that. 8% is good. 8% is good. You know, the stock market gives you a historic return of 7%. eBay's taking double that. They're taking double that. It's terrible. So if your item went up in value the same way the stock market does, eBay's taking double the value of the stock market right out of your item, right out of the value of your item. It's pretty much a ripoff. And since eBay's the #1 provider of those kinds of sales, there's no competitor. There's just no competition at all. How's it going, Mr. Ivan? How's it going? Look at this. All right, our time in the daytime stream is limited. What's today? It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday, Dale. I've opened 4 boxes altogether and 0 ARs. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's awful. That's awful. You are. So, where are my sleeves? Today's Tuesday. Oh, today's Tuesday, of course. I was just testing you guys. Feels like it's Wednesday. So weird. It feels like a Wednesday kind of Tuesday. Is Brett here? Oh, Brett is here. Yeah, that's right. You were talking to us. All right, I got to warn you guys. There's a line forming. Here's a Them. Another 10 Metazoos. You got it. Another 10 Metazoos for Mr. Them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Very good. Set that over there. Put these over here. All right. Ready? The VMAX takes the AR slot. Mister's last case was a lucky one. I've opened 4 boxes altogether. I don't know. You'd have to say that about all of our cases. You guys realize you've opened 6 cases of Gem now, right? You opened 6 cases of it. I ordered 10 cases. 4 cases remain. I have 2 cases ordered, but only one of them has tracking, and the other one's being contested because he won't ship it. Yep. Now, Mr. Them. Yeah, you guys blasted through them. So now the price is higher because I'm predicting that there won't be any left. Beast of Bladenboro. Here's Potion Seller, Potato Seller, Momo. Alaskan Vortex. That's such a boring card. Come on. Hey, there you go. All right, very nice. Picking up that Hollow Mothman finally. Finally. Well deserved. So you had to go through 3 boxes of this to get 1 Mothman. That's really interesting. He's definitely not super common. Definitely kind of a rare card. All right, thank you. Have you ever been scammed on eBay? Oh, all the time, dude. I bought these Blaine's gym decks, Japanese, and they were all fake. And then I went to eBay and I said, hey, these were fake. I bought them like a month ago. And eBay said, well, because you bought them a month ago instead of 3 days ago, we cannot refund you for that. That's what they did. They said, we will not refund you. And eBay's like king. You can't argue with them at all. They're like, sorry, that's our policy. And I can't charge it back in any way because it's through eBay. So, yeah, eBay sucks. I told them, I said, hey, how can that be your policy? Because everyone who orders vintage packs off eBay does not open them the moment they arrive. Sometimes they save them and they open them a month later for content or something, or they just open them after holding. And I said that's a very pro scammer policy. It allows people to make fake stuff, sell it, and keep the money. And eBay was like, we'll write that down in a note. Thanks for letting us know. I was like, what? So I lost like $400 on that. And yeah, it was a scam. All right, here is Hathim. So that is the most recent thing I've had to deal with when it comes to eBay scams. But then there was like this Victini I have to return that has the bad damaged edge, but the picture he took shows a really nice Victini. We're not doing that. We're going to get our money back. David Smith, he says Metazoo gym break. All right, David Smith going into the gym break. Here we go. Round 2, huh, David? Now, remember, these packs are also just for sale like normal. So you can also just open them if you ever need to. But we like to offer a little gym break on them. Okay. Scam Teeny, that's right. Okay, now Michael Pettiford. He wants 10 Korean fusion arts. Mr. Michael, thanks for your patience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Oops, 10. Okay, now we have one rocket pack. One rocket pack. By the way, guys, I just got in a fresh round of these Final Fantasy packs. We're finally in business on these. We got plenty of these now. Okay, we got 5 Lost Abyss as well. Okay, Lost Abyss. Show me Lost Abyss. 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, lovely. Good. People get paid or something? Some people get paid on Tuesday. Some people get paid on Wednesday. Some people get paid on Thursday. A whole bunch of people get paid on Friday. Yeah, I've heard people talk about it. Some people work jobs like Uber. Uber doesn't, Uber can actually pay pretty well, surprisingly, if you're very efficient with which car you use. So if you're very good at acquiring a cheap car and you put in a lot of hours, you can actually get like some decent money from Uber. If you're like a really consistent worker, you're willing to do a little overtime. And again, you get a very economic car, a car that's meant to be driven through, wear it out. You can do quite well with Uber. I've seen it. We are. You got to know how to buy a good used car, which is almost like a contradiction. Although these days used cars are so expensive, I bet you Uber and DoorDash and all those websites have actually driven up the used car market with the demand for those kinds of vehicles. But yeah, I mean, Uber, you can drive Uber for a full year and make like $50,000. And if the car only costs you X amount and it lasts you several years and you divide that over the years, you could be making like $45,000 a year as a driver, But again, you have to be very good with it. You have to be very smart. Because if you buy a car and it's a lemon, and maybe that's a little bit like gambling actually, but if you buy a car and it's a lemon and it requires constant repairs and then it breaks after a few miles. Oh, Mr. Michael, that was not a good round. I'm sorry, man. Tough round there. No hits at all. Well, I mean, you got the V cards. I don't really think of V cards like hits, though. Sorry, man. No luck there. Better luck on your next round, Michael. Like your car, mister. Yeah, like like the Ford Fiesta, which was a nice, cheap, small, affordable vehicle that we drove almost for 8 years. I paid it off in the first year. Insurance was nothing because it was so cheap. The only downside to that little car, feels like if you got in a car wreck, you would die. So that's the downside to that one. But obviously I did not get in a car wreck because I drive very carefully. I'm a very defensive driver. And maybe I just didn't drive as much. But we got a lot out of that car because it was paid off so fast. And ironically, it's still worth a lot. It's worth a lot of money right now. So it's at 90,000 miles and ready to be taken by like a Uber driver or something who wants to wear it out. There we go. Now we have a nice little Toyota. The Fiesta is worth more now than new. When it was new, I think it was like $8,000 or something like that when we initially bought it. and it had 40,000 miles on it. And then all these years later, it's like $6,000. What? Because of the lack of used cars and because of the way the value of the dollar changed. Cars got more expensive. So our little used car barely changed in value. We only put 50,000 miles on it in 8 years, though. So, you know, that's probably part of it. Guess how many times I repaired it? Like twice. And they weren't even like serious repairs. They were like simple repairs. Like they said, one of the wires in the car seemed to have been chewed through by like a rat or something. I was like, oh yeah, probably squirrels. So the alternator wasn't working properly. And they're like, yeah, it looks like some animal chewed through the wire. I was like, stupid squirrels. All right. So let's see. Now we've got Mr. Garrett, $70 for the Pokey Shuffle. What's that? 12? Garrett, Mr. Garrett. 12 Pokey Shuffles. You got it, man. Ivan has a question. Ivan says, you have a slab on eBay I'd like to buy, so I figure I'd buy here. That's a very good idea. Which one is it? Let me know which one it is. I'll go pull it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. What do we got going on here? You ready? The Sigilif. Ah, yeah, we can go get Sigilif. Woo! Nothing but cold ones, Garrett. Nothing but cold ones. Ah, I'm sorry, man. That's a cold round. 12 cold ones. There, I'll give you a poker card or two. You got a bag, Garrett? Give you some of these poker cards here. You know, I'm gonna save this one for people who try to buy actual spots in here. Little bicycle Mickey. You know. All right. You are. Okay. And then let's go ahead and flip these around. You might actually get, yeah, like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are in here anyways. Let's go ahead and pop these into a sleeve. So you're going to get this as a bonus. I'm going to buy it on eBay now. Don't do that. What are you talking about? You're trying to be mean to Ivan? To Ivan? What has Ivan done to you? Here you go, Garrett. All right, I'll take it down, Mr. Ivan. So, Sigilif. What? It auto-corrected to Dylan. I don't even know what Dylan. Trying to find it. I tried typing in Sigilif and it doesn't return anything. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Weird. Okay, so all right, so Sigilif is off the market now. Good. Now, that was Garrett. Garrett is done. We have an order from Mr. Brett. 1 vintage box break, Ancient Origins. Yes. Did you see this? The price on it went up. It just keeps going up. Crazy. So, Mr. Brett, there's a big Ancient Origins box on eBay, and if it sells, this goes up from 175 to like 200. So right now it's still at 175, and but eventually it goes to 200. That's like a $25 difference. It makes a big deal. You know, like let's say you want 3 packs, right? Well, if it goes up by 25, that's an extra $75 for 3 packs. So that's if that next box sells on eBay. If that next box sells, and I think it could, this jumps. So keep that in mind, guys. For live custom boosters. You are always going in those custom boosters and always getting killed by them. We'll see what happens. Win. 2. Aha! But not today. 3 and 4. All right. So now I feel pretty good because you did not get killed by the live customs. What is this? Hopefully a good one. Minum 10. Oh, I think that's a solid vintage card. I think it's a non-hollow vintage card. Oh, yeah. That's actually really good. So that is that Hidden Legends Minum. Now, Hidden Legends, that's the Gold Star era, Gen 3. And you're looking at a hard-to-grade vintage card. These are harder to grade than it looks. I sent a bunch into PSA, and only like one of them came back 10. Let's see what the population is on it. You ready? And this will be very low pop because it's Hidden Legends. I know it will. Population 14 on this Minum. 14, guys. Think about that. That's not bad. All right, so that's a good poll. I thought it was perfect for the live customs. I was like, man, that's a cool one. I got to put that one in. There you are. Look at this. Ah, yeah. Can I slab away a booster pack? Of the Ancient Origins, absolutely. So when it comes to the box break, you can absolutely slab away those booster packs. There's no slab away fee at all. So it's just the slab away fee is $0, and you just put down as much as you want toward that pack. Probably start out with at least $20 down toward the pack. That's why I would say, like, don't put down like $1, because then I'll be like, I don't think so. But yeah, maybe $20 down. There's no slab away fee. However, you must have it paid off before the box is sold, okay? So you run out of time, not in 6 months. You run out of time when pack number 36 is taken and you're still on reserve. Well, you're no longer on reserve at that point. At that point, your pack is available for sale now because it wasn't completed. That happened to 1 or 2 guys during the fossil break because Mr. Brett Love was like, hey, let's open that. So there you go. That's a really nice card popping out of the live customs for you there, Mr. Brett. And it was priced at $110, and you got it for $80. So that's a $30 difference. 30. That's not bad. So one Hololive Curious Universe. Now wait a second. You said ×1 on the vintage box break for Ancient Origins. Are you sure you didn't mean ×2 on the because you actually give me a figure 350, and that looks like 2 spots. Yeah, you say 1 times vintage box break Ancient Origins 350. That to me looks like you meant to order 2 packs. And then you also order a box of Destined Rivals. Ooh, box of Destined Rivals. That's going to be fun. So I think you meant to buy 2 of these. Here we go. So you get spots 9, 10, and 11 because you already had spot number 9. There it is. Okay. So yeah, and since that other box hasn't sold, you saved like $50 because you got it cheaper. So there you have it. Up to 11. Can't wait to open that, by the way, guys. It's going to be very exciting. So, box of Curious Universe. That one looks like... I've got it right. Yeah, here it is. All right, Curious Universe. Signatures can come out of here. And then we also want a box of Destined Rivals. So, Destined Rivals right after this, guys. It's a big order. I appreciate it, man. All right, we like the big orders. They're exciting. Ready? The next Magic the Gathering set releases on August 1st. Don't forget Weiss Rose Interspecies Reviewer set. Oh, yeah, that's coming up, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny. The Interspecies Reviewer set, that was already being advertised to me by the main guy who supplies me with Japanese goods. He told me about it back in, like, June. He's like, would you like some of this? And I was like, I guess. But he must have found it an interesting set himself. Like, he doesn't always comment on the sets. He just shows what's available for sale. But it's pretty rare for him to start advertising a set, like, months ahead of time. So he must have found the set interesting, too. He might have been like, this one's going to sell. Do you think that set's too lewd, though? I mean, if I show that set right here on the table, will YouTube be like, hide this channel? You know, like, is that an adult-only set? It seems like it's at least PG-13. I mean, it's definitely PG-13 at the least. But it might be too sexual. You know, we actually had some cards rejected by Beckett. Beckett said, we won't grade these because they're too sexy. And it's like, what the hell? It doesn't even make any sense because all these other companies are grading. It's like, come on, dude, just grade the card. No way they made a blank card set. Pretty much. Look up the anime. I did. I talked to you guys about it, and you guys are like, yeah, that's basically, you know, that's the pregame before the hub. The more lewd, the better. The anime did get pulled from TV. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, if it's that borderline, I want to sell it because I want to make some money. However, is it really appropriate for YouTube? I don't want to actually get myself in trouble. Like, I wouldn't open up Playboy cards if it featured literally almost naked girls, or like slightly naked or like assumed naked. You know, the Playboy cards we're selling right now, all the girls are fully clothed. There's actually very little lewdness to it, and we're just after the Donald Trump card. But yeah, I mean, if they're too sexual, I'd just say like, I'm not doing this. You are? All right. Chill Gooner, solo leveling only. Did someone say blank card set? If it did get pulled from TV, then YouTube will probably flag it. Holy moly. Yeah, so I'm questioning whether I can even sell it. Maybe it's time for me to finally open up my Kick account or something like that and stream it on another website. I wouldn't mind having more than one place where you guys are subscribed to me. Maybe like a decentralized sort of no rules kind of place, you know. I don't know what website would be best for that. But if YouTube ever decided we don't like you, or if YouTube ever decided, we don't do rip and ships anymore, or whatever like that, I would want to have some sort of establishment on a website, maybe like one that lets you do more, have more freedom. So I'd like to have an establishment or presence in that area so I could say, join us on Kick instead. All right, so that is the box of Curious Universe. No signature popping out, notably. Let's go get that Destin Rivals box. I can't believe you're opening this. This is, right now, this is easily one of my favorite products to open. They're not going to pull it if there's clips of gushing over magical girls on there. Nah, that wasn't that bad, was it? Gushing over magical girls? That wasn't that bad. There's about 3 dudes having smecks with different fairy tale creatures. 6, why would you know that? 6, that's a little too many, that's too much detail, 6. It's almost like you know too much. There we go. 6, you're a good Christian Minecraft server, right? You would never. Yeah. That sounds fun. Oh my, good. The series, I already read that. Oh, here it is. 3 guys who literally have sex with monster girls and post reviews at the tavern they frequent. That's the whole show. Jesus Christ, dude. Dude, and Weiss said, you know what? Let's greenlight that for a card set. Kick has no restrictions. Yeah, you know, I really ought to have a Kick account, in my opinion. And that is because if YouTube were to ever decide they don't do rip and ships or something like that, and I don't want to start a Whatnot account, I would probably run a Kick account then. Whatnot, the problem with Whatnot is they want to take a cut of the sales. And I think that that's kind of ridiculous. Here it is. That is a ridiculous idea to me. 5 cases of interspecies or 6? Schooners are hungry. Maybe if it was too lewd, I could simply sell the interspecies as like a booster box you can take home or something. Or maybe we could do like a case break on it. So interspecies case break. That would be a fun thing. You wouldn't get to watch it on stream and we wouldn't clip it or anything, but still available as a fun break. So 8% of each sale. Yeah, that's just so wrong. It's so wrong. You know, it's funny enough. That's why I said eBay should take 8%. eBay takes more than Whatnot. They take 13%. And so in comparison, Whatnot's being nice. But yeah, I mean, think of it like this. YouTube takes 0. Crazy. So, I mean, when Whatnot was starting up, I saw it starting up. I didn't think that Whatnot would even last. I didn't think it would, you know, I didn't think it would matter to anyone. I was like, oh, gross. What is this? Whatnot? And no, it stuck around. It stuck around. Whatnot did not go anywhere. The owner of the app is probably very, very, very wealthy now. Very wealthy. Blaziken. Look at that Blaziken. Have you tried selling on Mercari? I have not sold there, but I have purchased cards there. Ooh, what a great pull. Guys, Cynthia's Golden Garchomp. That looks fantastic. And Blaziken, so far so good. So far so good on these. Okay, we've got Regirock. Monster Girls more are just regular ladies with horns or monster arms. Okay. Here's There's Mudbray. All right. There's integrated brakes built into the app. A new demographic of buyers ready to spend. You would do well over there. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thought. They did offer to have me open an account where I think they were going to give me like a preferred treatment. Maybe they would let me sell with fewer fees, but I turned it down and said, no, I'm sticking to YouTube. And I don't know. I don't think that that's been a bad choice. It is. Considering the reputation Whatnot has had, I think that if your work is on Whatnot, I think people look at you different. I'm actually pretty proud to be here over on YouTube. I think it's a nice thing. And I think it's very competitive here. It's very competitive everywhere. So we have a nice thing carved out for us here on YouTube. And Kick would just be a backup plan if YouTube ever decided, you know, we don't do rip and ships. Or let's say YouTube decided we do rip and ships. However, you're going to have to pay us 8%. If YouTube ever rolled out something like that, the YouTube shop, right? Because that's how it started on TikTok. On TikTok, you could go live and do rip and ships too. And then TikTok said, wait a second, you're selling way too much product. So TikTok started saying, you want to sell stuff live? You got to join TikTok business and open a TikTok shop. And then TikTok takes a cut there too. So YouTube's one of the places that are left that don't do that. And that could change one day, I don't know. And that could really impact our business. So a company like Kick seems like it would be a good idea to become familiar with them and just get really, you know, build up a presence over there. Teach people, hey, if this burns down, we're meeting up on Kick. I wouldn't put him past it. The chase card is 1 minute missing footage. We need Jesus. Hana. Did you see Simon Cowell buying Pokemon? That was all over my feed, dude. I got so many clips of that. Simon, what's his name? Last name Cowell? Simon Cowell. He's the judge on, what is it? America's Got Talent or something like that. Britain's Got Talent. And he's been doing that since I was a kid, man. He's been doing that for a long time. He's an old man now. And he was seen buying a Rayquaza VMAX from a vendor. How fun is that? This. So, but I hear it's for his son. He bought it for his son. What a cool dad. My dad bought us cards when we were kids, and that was a smart move by him. Yeah. All right. Because it's such a great toy. Very nostalgic. Only good memories from something like that, you know. All right. Is the card list out for it? I'm so curious. You're going to buy the new Epstein card set. The card list set? Yeah. Hey, it's me, Jeffrey Epstein. And by the way, I didn't do anything. I was just innocent the whole time. But I'm a billionaire. But I'm also just going to commit unalive. But I didn't do anything. I didn't have any clients. But also my girlfriend, Ghislaine, she's going to jail for 20 years. But we don't know why, because there's no clients. We didn't do anything. Yeah, right, man. Tyranitar. Yeah, that's a whole story right now. The whole Epstein thing, that's a big story. The FBI came out and said, well, we have no Jeffrey Epstein list to release because there's no list. And everyone's like, what? You're lying. Although it would be interesting if it was the truth, don't you think? That would be maybe not surprising if there was no list. Like, why would you... It's almost like you're saying, hey, police officers, right here. You know, so if you're up to no good, you might not keep a list of everyone's names. That's not actually that hard to imagine. But that doesn't mean they didn't go over to that island and do heinous things. But, yeah, so now the FBI is saying, hey, there's no list. Here's one reason... And it's just one reason why that might be true. It's possible that that's true. Here are my thoughts. So, if Donald Trump was on that Epstein list, which is what everyone wants to know, don't you think somebody would have already leaked the list, or Biden would have just posted the list during the 2024 campaign? Like, think about it. They did a lot to Trump. They tried to jail him. They tried to fine him. They tried to call him a, rebellion leader. They tried to do a lot of things to throw him out of that election. They were reaching. And so if he was on some sort of official Epstein list, again, why would a bad guy keep a list of names? I don't think Because if you're up to no good, you're way sneakier than that. So again, it's not that Trump didn't go over there or something, but maybe Epstein really wasn't just keeping a list. But so if there was an official document that cites Trump's name and it's got Epstein's signature on it, I feel like Biden would have released that. I really do. He would have been like, by the way, here's my opponent, and that's Jeffrey Epstein's signature right there, and there's Donald Trump's name. And then Trump would have had a harder time trying to win that election. But that never actually came out. So for everyone who is freaking out over them saying there's no Epstein list, maybe there just really wasn't. Now, the alternative is, yeah, maybe there was. And they've got something to release, maybe like a blackmail list, maybe, I don't know, maybe a correspondences where they just email or talk to each other. Who knows? And maybe it's possible that Trump's in that, and that's why they didn't release it. Or also, maybe it's possible that a lot of friends, a lot of wealthy billionaires with a lot of influence are on that correspondence or blackmail list or whatever he might have had, in his computer. Maybe a lot of their names are in there, and you just don't want to throw all your billionaire buddies under the bus. Like, those guys give you a lot of money, So who knows? Who exactly knows what's going on in the background? But I don't think anyone believes that Jeffrey Epstein was innocent and Ghislaine went to jail for 20 years for being innocent because there's no list. Nobody really believes that. We know there's a cover-up. And it's a pity. I think it makes people very cynical. I think it makes people not trust the government. All right, so those are my two cents on the Epstein news story. Here we are. All right, I'll toss this over here. They said the list was on someone's desk. Yeah, Pam Bondi or something like that. I heard about that. What's going on, mister? What's up, Luke? Did you hear about the new Degen coin? Dege coin? I did not. The problem is showing the list puts others on the list, and no one wants that Pandora box open. Yeah, exactly. So if there's a lot of powerful, wealthy men, maybe from around the world, maybe kings, maybe princes, if they're all on that list at the same time, and you show that list off, you might even run into serious problems like matters of trade, matters of war. We're not going to help you in that war because you put us on the Epstein list. So, you're right. If you're the tattletale, if you're the whistleblower, but you're a whistleblower on the world stage where there's no rules, it really just might makes right, There's no rules at the very top, guys. You realize that? There's no rules when you're at the very top. When you're the world leader, when you're the leader of something, there's no rules anymore. So if you do something like that, maybe they go, hey, see this trade deal we just worked out? Forget about it. We're not doing that. Screw you. And that could be costing billions of dollars in trade. And maybe he goes, I'm not showing this list off. Just as easy to say it doesn't exist. But I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein's going, Prince Charles was at my estate, my manor today, and he slept with 15-year-old girls. You really think he was writing that down? I don't know if he would write that down. Typically, people who are up to no good don't write that stuff down. They say, that never happened. So who knows? He might have had a blackmail list, but who knows? Let's see, powerful people on that list, including Trump. With the Trump theory, again, I wonder if that's true. They didn't show it during the campaign, even when it seemed like he could win. So, but then again, maybe it comes down to them not wanting to tattle on everyone else. Nobody trusts the government anyways. I only trust Mister. That's right. What? A lot of talk during my opening. Yeah, we had some interesting conversation. So you have this beautiful Murkrow. Look at the centering on that, by the way. That's not bad. That could be a 10. Persian, Moltres. I like your Rockets Tyranitar. You ever want to donate these hollows from this set? I love the Rocket set. Here's a nice Rotom. I like the centering on that one. Judge, kind of stinky, and Mega Regirock, the Golden Garchomp. So this one's good too, but when you turn it sideways like this, you can see the fat's a little, the top is a little fatter than the bottom. So the centering on this one, it looks like the left is thinner than the right as well. So you could have a little centering issue on that one. The Blaziken, again, pretty good on the centering like the other ARs, and the Blaziken's a good one. So we like the Blaziken. Judge, he's going to be stinky. I wouldn't grade Judge. Tyranitar looking pretty close, although the edges looked a little frizzled. Yeah, this was half dot. So this guy will probably be a 9, this Team Rocket Tyranitar. Little review of your cards there, a little free review. Look at that, beautiful cards here, though. The Blaziken, if that could grab a 10, would be really nice. All right. So, and then you've got your Curious Universe. I don't fully understand HoloLive, only that you guys love it, so I get the next case every single time it comes out. So there's HoloLive. Thank you, Brett. Brett gave us an $800 order today, guys. Whew. Man, that was a big order. That's got me, oh, it's already 6:37. What the hell? All right, we got an empty bag here. Let's pop all this in here. You need Diddy as a special guest. He's going to jail for a while for transporting prostitutes, right? So he was not found guilty of the most serious charges. However, he was still found guilty of doing some very highly illegal things, like transporting prostitutes, which is not allowed. Didn't I hear he's going to jail for like 10 years? That's a long freaking time, dude. I mean, if you're 50, he's going to come out 60. You know, it's not the same as murder. So, Mr. Brett, we most certainly have a box for you, but that box is full. So then our next move would have been to place you over here, which we did. That's what we did. Okay, so there you go, Brett. Those are from the last 2 days. Good. Did you see Grok becoming full blank on X just now? I did not. I did not see that. I use Grok. So I sit down, and what I do is I write a prompt. Hello, Grok. We own one small home, one medium home, and one large home. Here's the mortgages on each. Here's our equity in each. Here's the interest rate in each. Here's how much the one of them rents for. It's located in Camdenton, Missouri. Give me an analysis on these 3 homes, and if you think they would perform better than a similar setup in another tax-free state. And then Grok gets that prompt, Gemini gets that prompt, and ChatGPT gets that prompt. And so that's how we do it, guys. And you should do that too. So if you have something to solve in your life, like getting a better job, write a big detailed prompt and then run it through all the major AI companies and see what kind of advice you get. It's incredible. That's why I was saying this is the new age, guys. It's like the release of the internet all over again. We're in a new age. After and before AI. It gives such amazing advice. It's really crazy. It thinks and it has data that you don't have in your head. So it's like talking to an advisor. Free advisor. All you got to do is have a web browser. I mean, that's shocking. Ivan Rodriguez. So he bought the Sigilith. Let me go get that Sigilith. All right. Got a lot of eBay cards here. Ah, perfect. It was right here. We found it right away. Ow. Yeah, enter that prompt and let the AIs chomp at it for a bit, and you might learn something that you never would have thought of. Oops. That doesn't mean AI is always right, but they're very good at reasoning. Computer's ability to reason. It's a new thing. AI will make new billionaires. I think they already have. All right, now we have Mr. Mike's Side. One Lord of the Rings Chrome. Here you go, Mike's Side. By the way, it's 7/8 is almost payday. Found a card set where you can pull P. Diddy's signature. Really? That's really funny, man. What's the name of the set? You guys wouldn't like that, right? Would you? I don't know. That sounds crazy. Wow, the 1-pack snipe from Mr. Mike's Side. Ooh, look at it. Look at this. This is why you open these. Ooh, the, what's his name? Elrond's Rivendell robe. Wow. It is. When the girl you like has a dad that doesn't like you. Here you are. Woohoo! That's pretty good, Mike's Side. The 1-pack snipe. Oh, this is good too. You got Saruman. Look at this Saruman card. This is just a common pull, but you know, in a Topps Chrome pack, you only get like 4 cards per pack, so that's not bad at all. Is it 4 or is it 5? You might get 5 per pack. All right, not bad at all, Mike's Side. I can't remember if you got a box, don't you? Mike's Side box. Here it is. All right, not bad. That one's worth grading, probably. Hey, mister, send a message on your Discord. Just curious. Can check after stream. Don't want to take time on the stream. Yes, we're coming very close to the end of the stream, everybody. It is 6:42. I got to be gone no matter what by 7. I'm never supposed to go past 7. Here we are. So there you go. There you have it. Mike's Side. Going deep, paying off. I can see you've opened up Lord of the Rings in the past, but not with the same luck. Called GAS PSA grades it. That's tempting, man. That's tempting. It's very timely. Sometimes I buy something timely and it doesn't do so well. Here's 6, 8 of the Gem 2. All right, you got it. Okay, now hold on, 6. The price of Gem 2 changed, okay? So she says 8 of the Gem 2. Hold on, so you sent 30, and Gem is now $6 a pack. That means you have room for 5 of these. Are you still interested? Just want to make sure. I don't want to open them unless you feel comfortable. Gem 2 is spiraling upwards in price. And so we are doing the same thing because I don't want to be sold out of these and turn around to go restock them and I have to pay more than I sold them for. Wait, let me send the rest. Okay, no problem. So she wants all 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Boop. 6 by 8, that's 48. So it's an $18 difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is. What's your favorite Korean Pokemon set? Well, Glory of Team Rocket right now. Without any doubt, it's Glory of Team Rocket. That set's so good. I mean, it's everything you wanted to experience with Glory of Team Rocket, but at $1.70 per pack. That's perfect. So that's really good. Other than that, Eevee Heroes would be number 2. Eevee Heroes, which is the same as, you know, the Japanese version and the English version, which would have been Evolving Skies. So it's just way, way, way cheaper in Korean, and you can actually experience that all over again. Next one would be probably Blue Sky Stream and Lost Abyss. So basically all the exceptionally expensive Sword and Shield sets that are just shockingly affordable in Korean. All right, 6 says sent. Got it. All right, let's open these 6. Good luck. Guess I haven't been rotating the slabs too hard. Sorry about that, guys. Having a good conversation. That's my favorite thing in the stream is while we're working on like opening some packs or working on your collection, and then we get into a fun conversation. I like the conversations a lot. I think the conversations keep me engaged in a way that just staring at Pokemon cards could not, because eventually I've seen all the cards, you know? And so it's more like, it's like a combination of two things. It's like, if you've ever played Minecraft for a long time, sometimes you like to play Minecraft and have a little thing in the background at the same time, you know? So I like to do the news. I think the news is a fun part of the stream. Here's Leafeon. Here's, speaking of the news, all those people passed away in Texas. Didn't the death count is up to like 110 or something, isn't it? It is. All right. Fatalities. Vaporeon and Jolteon this time. All right, there we have it, Miss 6. You walk away with a stamp Leafeon. Okay. Nice. Yeah, if that one, if that one Umbreon sells really for 1.5 thousand, it kind of makes no sense, because that means people can just start opening case after case after case of this stuff, and the Umbreon by himself almost pays for the whole case, and you still got everything else left over. Doesn't make any sense for this set. And the quality of the cards are so high, you're going to get 10s pretty often, and each case comes with maybe about 4 ARs. Doesn't make any sense. The price is way too high on the Umbreon. It makes no sense. Either it's way too high or the cost of the packs is way too low. So you're going to see a massive price increase on those, and you're probably going to see that Umbreon come down slightly. Here's Ekans. I saw this morning. It's crazy and sad. Damn, 110. They showed the one river rose like 10 feet in 30 minutes. Whew. That's sad, man. Here's Alakazam. That's a worst case scenario for me. If something like that happened, it could do significant damage to all kinds of cards, and it would be such a financial loss. It'd be insane. Here's Beatrice. Can I get 4 Poke Shuffles and 3 solo leveling? Yes, you can. Let's take a quick look at that solo leveling. All right, so we got 3 of these and 4 Poke Shuffles. Yeah, natural disasters are a worst case scenario for Karis and I, because we can't actually insure all of our cards. The cards come in, go out, come in, go out, come in, go out. You can't insure everything that crosses through that doorway. A lot of raw cards, a lot of odd things. You can insure like cards that you know aren't going anywhere, like stuff that you're not going to sell. So some of it can get insured, but not all of it. And also the type of insurance too. Ooh, cerulege. All right, you pick up a cerulege. You can't insure it against wildfire, house fire, tornado, hurricane, flooding, theft. You know, the more things you want to slap on with the insurance, the more expensive it gets. It goes up 1%, 2%, 3%. Here it is. All right, very nice. So the goal would be to live in a place with very low. Now, keep in mind, Beatrice, this one seems to have a crack right here, and we put it into the box for $20 as a result. I will let you sell it back to me for $15 if you'd like, and I'll put it back into the box for $15. I don't know what cost that. Was that on the slab already when he shipped it? I actually can't remember. I don't think it really affects the card inside. I've seen a lot of slabs, and I don't really think it matters. But if it matters a lot to you, you can sell it back to me right now for $15, okay? Mister, thought you were moving. Yeah, we're very interested in moving. Yes. All right, we got 3 solo leveling. Over 150 people missing. What? Crazy. I'll keep the slab, no problem. Yeah, I promise you that the card inside is perfectly fine, and PSA will reslab this for you and give you a 10 still, in my opinion. And then it's same with like if you crossed it to tag or anything else. They'd be like, yeah, it's fine. That's my feelings on the slab. Okay. That is correct, right? All right. Place that there. Just making sure I was meant to get you cerulege. I was like, yeah, it was cerulege. All right. There's 150 people missing. There it is. Very nice. The flooding in Texas has been heavily politicized, with people saying, you know, hey, this is Trump's fault. Look at this Ingrid card. That's nice. Okay, the bear. Gina, she's got some hair. Should just replace that, to be honest. There we go. Very nice. What is a more accurate indicator of a card's value, the current eBay buy now price or the last sold price? That's a great question, Notorious, and one that I think people have like debates over. If you're a buyer, you will often say, "Oh no. We don't go with the eBay buy it now price. We go with the last sold." If you're the seller, you say, "I'm not in competition with the last sold. That one's gone. That's why it's last sold. It's gone. And now mine's on the market and that one is not." So, but I think the answer lies in between. It's a combination of both the seller and the buyer. If the seller decides he won't go any higher than the last sold, well, then the market's kind of reached its final price. It's not going to go any higher. Similarly, if the buyer decides he's never going to match the last sold, card's just going to sit there then. You know, if this guy won't buy it and this guy won't lower it. And but there's a reason why cards rise in values, because very often the seller says, "No way, I know what I have. This is very good. The market's a bull market. If you don't buy this, the next guy will." And then you go, "Okay, I'm just going to go buy that before it gets scooped up." Whereas in a bear market, in a downward market with a downward trajectory, the seller goes, "Here's my price," and the buyer goes, "Hey, you know, that's not that close to the last sold. You got to come closer to the last sold." And the buyer might say, "All right, for you, I will. For you, I will. Let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. I'll get the cash back out. It's a bear market now. Let's just get this money out and move on." So, but yeah, so it's a bit of negotiating. You can always ask for the last sold. That will definitely, I wouldn't even bother right now. Like, you could try that right now. There is no point. It's not like sellers are newbies who have no clue how it works. Sellers know how it works. Especially if they do it a lot. They know how it all works. It's not like the seller can sell you that good card that you want, turn around, and then get the next vendor to sell him the same card for less than he bought it for. So they know how it works. They know there's no way you're getting that. Oh, these are Brett Love cards. Look, Brett Love. Brett. We got a couple Brett Love cards. We got to keep track of this. Brett. Okay, this whole box appears to be Brett. Not the whole box, most of the box. Okay, Brett, you got more cards to ship, so I'm gonna try and remember this, okay? Okay, Brett Love. You know, if you really want a card cheaper from a vendor, I would say try to be their friend or something. You got a better shot. They'll be like, you know what? I like you. I'm going to give you this cheap because we're friends. But that's basically charity at that point. But, you know, if a vendor is doing really well, he might be like, I can give up some of my equity just to be nice to people. So getting charity from a vendor is more likely than winning some sort of argument. You don't want to try and argue. Not right now. Argue with them when the market's really uncertain. When the market's very certain right now. It's a good market. Okay, so now we've got Luke Laurie, 1 Halo Upper Deck, 5 Korean Rocket. It's a very good market right now to be a seller. And the sellers, when they sell, they cannot get a hold of this product a second time. So when they sell, they are out. So I would just be nice to them. Don't try to piss off all the sellers. Just be nice with them. Try to be their friend. And sometimes that will cause them to be more generous with you in the future. They'll be like, you've treated me well. Let me give you something. You've treated me well. Let me do this for you. You know, because a seller appreciates that. I'm a seller, and you appreciate the people that you know. You start to appreciate them over time. Here it is. All right. But so I would say, number 1, don't be greedy. And number 2, just know if you buy that item from the seller, he can't go restock it in a bull market. It's not a thing. He can't go to the next seller and be like, oh, will you meet the last sold price? No way, dude. So he'll get killed. Here it is. All right. What I've been doing lately, I don't negotiate anything lately. I just buy it at their price. I say, here's all the money you want for it. I just give them all the money. That's how I did it when I first started in this hobby. I didn't negotiate at all. I just gave them all the money. And there was no problem with that. You know why? Because the card just went up in price. So it was no problem. As long as cards are doing that, you shouldn't worry too much about haggling. When cards are not doing well, maybe you haggle. Set of 10. I found that haggling causes a lot of ill feelings. And you can even get, you could get a guy who doesn't want to do business with you as a result. So be careful with all that. No harm in asking 10, 20 under. Most vendors add an extra 10, 20 on, so when people ask for a discount, they can take that 10, 20 off. Haha. I personally don't do that. I do not do it that way at all. I have like a formula, and I just stick to the formula. And if it doesn't sell, I go, that's okay, because in about 1 month, this card will be more expensive anyways. That's how a bull market kind of feels. And as long as that's true, like if it really will be more expensive in a month, it is going to be so hard to negotiate with any seller. So right now, the Pokemon card hobby is in pure greed crazy mode, and everyone's trying to scoop up every good card that is left in the hobby, if there's any left. So that is what's going on right now. People are trying to scoop up whatever's left, and cards have reached these absolutely insane prices now. I don't know what to think of it. It's like, even I'm shocked by the level they're reaching. The market is uncertain. You could be buying in right now at the high. I think you could call any market uncertain, but I would say the greed level is extremely high right now, and it's just going to be very hard to get cards on a downward trajectory until an actual downward trajectory emerges. But it does have to happen, right? Because as cards hit these record prices, the next time they sell, what do they have to go higher than that? So cards can't go up infinitely in like 1 year. They can't go up in price infinitely. So they'll eventually create a downward, when you have this high spike, you'll eventually see a little downward trajectory, and maybe you have a better chance negotiating then. But yeah, for me, increasingly, I just don't negotiate. Increasingly, I've found negotiating offends a lot of people, creates a lot of bad feelings. There's a lot of money in this hobby, and if somebody really has a very nice card, just let him have some money. Just let him have some money. Like, if I was buying this card from a guy, I'd be like, let's just buy it at your price. I'd just be like, here you go, whatever you want. And I guess that shows a very sincere confidence I have in the card itself. Maybe if I didn't feel so confident, I would be a little more open toward pushing toward a lower price. But man, these cards have just been doing so good. It's ridiculous. I've got a whole pile of cards, and they're all just strictly more expensive now. That's it. They just all went up. And so maybe I look at Pokemon cards through a certain frame or rose-colored glasses. yeah, there's a weird confidence to it, I would say. It could all go bad. I've already seen it go bad. I saw it go bad at the beginning of Scarlet Violet. So it could all go bad again. Who knows? All right, guys. It is 6:57. I believe we are all done for the day. Let me click on this. We have an order from 6. The rest. Thank you, 6. We have an order from 6. 6 gem 2s. You got it, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. As seller, of course, that's your take. Recognize the bias. If the top consolidates for a long time, it will stay. I trust your knowledge, but it's different from a guy at a table at an event. True, I don't go to the events, so I don't really know how their pricing works. And maybe those guys have a little wiggle room, because if you're paying with cash, maybe they're just not declaring their taxes. I don't know if that's why they want cash. Also, another reason they might want cash, because they can take that cash and immediately spend it for more product with a different vendor, and the government never knows what happens. The government never sees it. So they could be doing a lot of tax evasion, which is, by the way, definitely illegal. Just because it's cash does not mean you can legally avoid tax payment. I don't hate it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of taxes. I think the government scooping money out of your pocket constantly is really frustrating, especially the way they spend it. But they are supposed to report all of their cash sales. All of that's supposed to be a taxable event. So if you buy something from a vendor and he says, pay me cash and I'll give you $10 off, he's doing that because he knows that's the money he's going to save when he doesn't report it to the government. And also no processing fee, no credit card processing fee. So he says, give me cash, I'll give you $10 off. He's avoiding a processing fee. Kind of like when we talk about the PayPal fees over here, 3.5%. I mean, this stacks up. It's a lot. And then, again, if I didn't have to pay any taxes on my sales, that would be insane. That would be really insane if I paid no taxes on my sales. It would just be shocking how much money that would save, because the government takes a lot. They count it as business income, and then they count it as personal income. I get double taxed. So those guys say, give me cash, and then they tax evade, and that might be why they would say something like, yeah, we'll take $10 off, $20 off. Here we are. The question is, how long can vendors get away with that before the government starts saying, you know, as a Pokemon vendor, you really do need to cut us in on that. So you never know. The government could one day write a piece of legislation that says there's a really steep punishment for tax evading in a Pokemon card shop. Here's 6. Yeah, that's not tax avoidance. It's tax evasion. They are required by law to pay taxes on those sales. They're not allowed to receive the cash from you, run over to another vendor, and then get rid of that cash for more product. They're not supposed to do that. We are? Ooh. All right. Oh, wait, we need another bag. Do we have another bag? Let's take the box battle bag. All right. What if the eBay seller has a best offer? Do they select that option? You can try. When you make an offer on an eBay product in a very severe bull market, again, you guys, I see this message from J-Dog saying, says the multimillionaire. First of all, you don't know how much I have. It's not as crazy as you think it is. But I have good cards. I don't have cash. I have good cards. And that's just money in theory. So it's not really money until I sell it all. If I don't sell it all, then I'm just a guy with some cash. I don't have millions. Now, it's not a biased take. It's not a millionaire's take. I'm sharing my knowledge about the market with you. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. If it's a very severe bull market and you walk up to a seller and say, hey, you got to match the last sold, he's going to laugh in your face. And if you place a best offer on an eBay listing, you know all that's going to do, right? That's just going to signal to other people looking at that card, I better hurry up and buy it because this guy put an offer in for it. See what I'm saying? So you put an offer in on that card, and you're going to put a big green flag on that card for other buyers to hurry up and buy it before you get it, before maybe the seller accepts the offer. So you're flagging that card as this one. This is the one to buy because someone else is already trying. They're right in the middle of buying it. Maybe they asked for $5 off, So you're going to get that card sold to a buyer in full faster because, again, it's not about me. It's not about, Cardconomist is so rich, he's got Charizard. I'm just saying we're in a severe bull market. Now, when there's signs that that's changing, now that's a different conversation. That's why I was saying when there's like a downward trajectory forms in the data, then maybe you start pushing a little harder for price changes. You say, you know, you can see cards are falling in price. Why don't you keep up with that? You know, you can say something like that. That's not happening. I'm here to report the data to you. Cards are doing, they're just going straight up. Week after week, record prices. Week after week, record auctions. Like, it's every week there's record auctions. That's all we're getting right now. You can't find a single card that's good for sale. And if it is, they want like $20,000 for it. It's insane. So it's just a very crazy market right now. And so what I'm saying is, during a very crazy market, save everyone's time. Save everyone's time. Don't make any enemies with the vendors. That's a bad idea. You always want to be friends with all vendors, because one day it might turn out they have something that no one else has. Or one day it might turn out they really like you and they want to set up some sort of off eBay, you know, on Instagram kind of thing with you. So you know, you gotta make friends, is my point. And that means being smart during a severe bull market. You don't want to over aggressively haggle. I had a guy, he was fighting with me for my Lorcana first chapter case, and he really got into it. He was being mean, dude. He was like trolling me it was on eBay, by the way. So I have all the messages on my phone, but I'm not going to show you because I think that's not doxing, but I don't want to show our private messages. But I don't think you're supposed to do that. Might be against eBay's rules. So he starts fighting with me. He's like, you got to lower your Lorcana first chapter. He says, it'll never sell. And I'm telling him, dude, it's so going to sell. What are you talking about? This thing's going up in price year over year. I've got the cheapest price on the market already. And so he comes down to calling me names. He gets real mean near the end. And I go, all right, you're blocked. So I blocked him. And guess what? The case sold like a week later. The case sold. So he missed out on the cheapest buy it now. That was my case. It was the cheapest one. He preferred to fight with me over a price on a product that's going to get scooped up by someone else. Now he has to pay a higher price if he wants to acquire another case, because he's got to buy the next one from the next guy. And guess what? That one's more expensive than mine. So that's a perfect example. I've had other examples of haggling gone wrong. A long time ago, I was haggling for a base set booster box, and I wanted $18,000 for it, and he had it listed at like 21. And then the moment I told him, hey, I'm really interested in this, would you do 18,000? He took his and raised the price higher because he saw that there was interest in it. I was like, oh, brother, what have I done? And this was during Logan Paul, so those prices sound really high because they were. Logan Paul time period, booster box prices went to the moon. And they're back up there. They're at the moon again. But, you know, I was trying to acquire a base set box, and I couldn't anymore because I unwittingly caused the seller to raise his price as he saw the demand. He knew I was very close to buying it, and in fact, I had the cash to buy it. And then he said, you know what? This guy might be my customer, and I'm the only one selling this at that price. I need to raise it. So he raised his price because he was pretty far below the next cheapest buy it now. So you may unwittingly cause your item to go up in price if the seller checks the price. And that was a big learning moment for me. I said, when you ask for a discount, all you're really doing is revealing that there's real demand in the market for your product. So yeah, those are some things you can just take that however you want to take it and think about it. Mr. Mike Size says, send the Elrin card to PSA. Perfect. All right. You can take that advice however you want it. All right. But that was my experience back then. I learned a lot from it. I've probably bought and sold more cards than the average person. And I've seen a lot of stuff over the years. I've just got an intuition for some stuff over the years, over what you can get away with or what you really have to beat someone up over to try and get. Overall, what I found, when you're buying a card, you might be able to save $10, $20, $30 on something, but a relationship with someone who is a good supplier or a good vendor or somebody who holds a lot of special cards, a good relationship is very valuable. Good relationships, those are very good. Sometimes those guys reach out to you in private and they say, hey, this item's not going to go up on eBay. I'm asking the guys I know if they want to buy it first. That's a big, big deal. That's a big deal because you save so much money at that point. And so it's not just about hunting the market. It's about the people you know. That makes you really good in the card hobby. Some of my best deals are with people I know. All right. I know you're about to hop off, but can I send for those last two gem packs? Okay. Here they are right here. Jack Woodworth, send for them right now. Sometimes the bid and ask just don't match. No reason to get mad about it. That's right. He made an alt account, mister. That's why I only buy from mister, because we're besties. Jack says sent. All right, so last 2 packs. Let's just see what was in here. You ready? All right. We got pack number 1 and pack number 2. Oh, you had a nice little Umbreon pop out. That's not so bad. But no AR this time. All right. Maybe AR in the next box. We'll have to see. Thank you, Jax. Appreciate it. Mr. FaceTime me during his bath. Here we are. All right. Very good. A long time ago, I got into an argument. Here's another moment I can share with you guys. I got in a fight with the guy over a Rocket Cubone. This would have been like in 2019. 2019, I got in a fight with him. And because of the fight, he blocked me on eBay. And for years, he would have all these great Rocket Return cards that I could no longer buy. Now, I don't know who that is anymore. It's been too long. I don't remember him. So I don't even know if he has those cards anymore or what he does. But I remember that. I wanted to buy those cards from him, but I was blocked on eBay. So he had to sell them to someone else, and I missed out on some cards I genuinely would have bought from that guy. So that's another good example. So it's all about, you can test the waters on negotiating. I don't know if I would push it very hard during a severe bull market. And I would say the real money comes when you have lots of people who generally like you, and they happen to have a lot of rare cards and stuff like that. Or they go, oh, it's this guy. I know this guy. We've done a lot of business now. And they don't just sell you cards. They share valuable information too. So valuable information, that's something you can't buy. And it can be a tip on something very important happening in the market all of a sudden, So all those things really add up. And yeah, so your skill in making friends is very valuable as a collector. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. See you later. Have a nice night. I'm going to be back on for the late night stream for Tuesday, so I hope you'll be there. So we'll be back on around 1 a.m. in the morning. See you later, guys.